Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to have to cut it out. Like, this is really bad.
Podcasts, projected to soar to over $120 billion in forthcoming years. But in a sea of sameness, only a rare few creators are turning up the volume on what's possible. Audio pun. Enter Call Her Daddy.
I listen every week.
Alex Cooper is your wild, brutally honest, sex-positive friend, sharing just about everything in her life from sex, relationships, pop culture, mental health, drunken nights out, and the hangxiety that comes after.
She's really tapped into pop culture, so she always has like people fresh off of Love Island or fresh off of like reality TV or like hot celebrities that are like the person's like it girl. And it's nice because it's like a very cozy sit down spot.
Her podcast has amassed over 5 million listeners that collectively go by the Daddy Gang, and she's somehow made the under 30s audience switch from 30-second TikToks to full-length podcast productions. Hot off the press. Call Her Daddy's Alex Cooper is the latest media personality to start her own agency. Focused on Gen Z marketing, I shall bring you more. I've had to pause this video because there have been some live updates to the Alex Cooper story.
Yeah, we're bringing this live. All of her agency is being powered by Google Pixel Tech, and the agency is under her Unwell umbrella. So she's got her podcast network, she's got her drinks network, and now she's got her creative agency network. It's all Gen Z focused, so we're going to expect a lot more targeted content towards Gen Z, production, and I imagine deeply integrating what she's doing with her podcast as well. I'm going to go back to work then.
New York 2017. Alex Cooper and roommate Sophia Franklin record their first podcast episode of the pod. 1 month later, they'd secured $70,000 of guaranteed funding from Barstool Sports. From that New York apartment came big ambitions and apparently big fallouts.
When it was at Barstool, it was like fairly raunchy. I would say it was the very first like raunchy female podcast, and they would talk about like some crazy stuff. But the other girl started dating someone who was in the entertainment industry, and they just got in like a big fight on how much they should be like being paid from Barstool. They ended up like breaking up because of it. And Alex kept the IP. That was like her whole thing, is she wanted to keep the podcast and wanted to keep like the IP of it.
So when Spotify knocked in 2021, Alex Cooper answered alone to a $60 million deal. That's only the half of it, quite literally, because in 2024, Cooper secured a $124 million deal with SiriusXM and joining the likes of Howard Stern and Andy Cohen on the platform. With her role as the second most popular podcast globally firmly cemented, Cooper set out heights on new ventures.
Unwell Network is now this like network of podcasts. So she has a bunch of other up-and-coming podcasts.
Cooper really recognised a need for new voices. But what was this need? Well, Alex Cooper's audience are mainly women, 76% being under the age of 35. And what type of content does this audience consume? All sorts, not a one thing. True crime, celebrity gossip, comedy, entertainment. There's a lot going on. But even Alex can't do it all. So rather than diluting the Call Her Daddy brand, she decided to platform people who could reach those audiences organically. From Madeline Argy's Pretty Lonesome, to Go West True Crime, to Extra Dirty with Hallie Batchelder. But her business acumen doesn't end there.
What stands out about Alex is that she only says yes to partnerships that truly make sense for her audience. So she did a collab with Jimmy Choo, she did a Skims collab, she did a collab with BetterHelp. She really aligns with mental health, themes of confidence, sexuality, and just like female empowerment. She's not afraid to turn down big money if it doesn't feel right, which is exactly why I think people trust her. They know that if she's endorsing something, it's truly something she believes in. So it shows integrity. It highlights the voices of, female athletes or celebrities, and even expands into other projects like her Hulu special that push the conversation further.
Her bank account isn't the only thing that's grown. So has the caliber of her guests. She's interviewed some of the largest and most influential celebrities globally, from Miley Cyrus, Hailey Bieber, and even Kamala Harris. Remember her? For an hour or two, she gets these celebs to drop their media training and reveal some of their deepest, darkest, and dirtiest secrets. Hi and welcome to Call Her Goatee, where we've stripped out the celebrity glamour and we've replaced it with Molly from marketing.
Hello.
Hi. What a bitter disappointment you are.
I'm sorry, I was the only one available.
Aside from the Unwell Network and the podcast, what else is she doing?
So she's also got her Unwell hydration drink, which is something that she's created to
Make loads of money?
No, not make. I mean, that's probably a bonus. She made it all about football, and she sponsored the Football League, and she was a division.
Which football league?
The National
Premier League?
National
The Bundesliga?
the National Women's Football League.
Right.
She was a Division 1 football player in college, so it did make sense. It's full circle for her. She's investing back into women's sports and doing so much more in that space than just having a drink.
Why do audiences value her as an influencer, and how has this translated into her business practice?
I think something about Alex Cooper is she's always been Alex Cooper. With everything, it's always been very chaotic, very raw, very honest. She's always spoken very openly about sex and mental health and all of those kind of things, and so her partnerships make sense with that. She's famously turned down, I think it was an $8 million or £8 million partnership because it didn't align. So she's very much like, I'm not going to sell myself. I want to provide something that's got value to my audience, and her audience resonates with it. They feel like she cares and she is doing it for them more than just for her.
She set the unvarnished bar.
Yeah,
here.
exactly. And she's stuck at it. And if not, she's constantly going above it.
Final question.
Yes.
She gets her guests to, like you say, sort of spill the tea.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to do some oversharing for us.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to have to cut it out because this is really bad. Okay.
I won't tell anyone.
So it started off with me doing. They came in and they were like going for it, and then. Oh my God. But you can't tell anyone.
Okay, I'm not going to sit next to you anymore.